This is Pear Deck. Pear Deck is a Google add-on extension for Google Slides. Um, when used, it attaches right here for your, and then when we click on this, it opens this little side menu. Yeah, okay. So the subject is theater arts, um, like an intro to theater, which is beginning level theater, which this activity would be 9th through 12th graders because anybody can take a beginning level theater. The standards addressed in this lesson are BC 1.3, which is to understand how to read and write scripts that communicate conflict, plot, and character, and BA 1.1, which is to interpret the plot structure and the thematical and technical theatrical elements. I would be using this activity as an in-class activity, and I would introduce it to my students as we have a lecture today. It's PowerPoint based, and I mean, there really isn't much to get into this lesson. We're learning about what theater is and what makes a theater. If I click Start Lesson, it's going to ask about student-paced activity or an instructor-paced activity. So there are two options if I want to have this be an in-classroom activity for this one, and if I were to send this off with them, or if I were to have a sick day and needed to have them have a sub, this would be a very great option. So we're going to do instructor paste. It's going to present my presentation. And then it gives me a code that all of the students are able to join. Oh, we got a lot of things going on here. I can project the class code and then close it. And then it's telling me I can move this off. So this is what like the students see. Oh, I did not mean to full screen that. And then this is what I see, as well as the main board. This is what would be projecting. And then if the kids didn't catch the class code before, it is up in this little corner. To make sure that my students are interacting with this activity as we go through the sides, there will be a little Pear Deck bar at the bottom, which is how you know there are interactive activities on the students' side. So it's beginning. Okay. Like for this one, there it says no responses, but at the bottom it says students write your response. It says show responses. I'm able to see once there are actually responses, they will all be here. I'm able to create a new prompt if I would like. But for this one, it is just asking the students what they have heard of the most. Is it musical, drama, comedy, ballet? And I will get those at the end. This one doesn't have one. This one doesn't have one. This one does. The students can draw on this slide on their end. So as I go through and describe a proscenium stage or a thrust stage or an arena or a flexible stage, they're able to make little pictures and have a visual representation of what that is. And then at the very end, there's questions. So that's how I can tell if my students are interacting with the activity. For me as an educator to understand if my students have met their objective is really throughout those results of their Pear Deck, and at the end when it says questions, if my students are engaging throughout the lessons and asking questions throughout the lessons, as well as at the very end if they even have questions that they thought of while I was going through the lesson, which they could even add to the little slides. Like if they were drawing on the one of the stages, they could write a little question. But and this, I'm able to end this session with a name, and I can get all of those responses later down the road. And if I have multiple classes of beginning theater, I'm able to go back and read all of the responses and really double check and see if there's overlap between any of my classes that I need to go and revisit. I'm going to end it. I'm also able to open and reflect and review, which opens a new tab and lets me select other things over there. Would not let me show that, which is weird. If I click exit, this is the student paced mode, which could be sent home as homework. If I close this and you look at the little sidebar, you can see where I can put all of the different questions or interactive activities into my Google Slides, as well as a whole bunch of other great resources that this adds. But that's what Pear Deck is.